Casey had sort of a rough time out there, didn't he? Let's take a look at some of the tools that Casey has available that he could have taken with him when he was calling on that customer. Maybe result in a better customer experience for Richard Carson, and actually also result in a better customer call for Casey. The first thing we're going to talk about is the Parts Expert Standalone. Parts Expert Standalone is differentiated from the web. It has a toolbar at the top that basically allows it to dialogue with the dealer business system. You can pull down customers, you can pull down machine profiles, multiple store inventory, dealer pricing. You have that available when you're working with customers in the field. You can also look at those profiles, correct information, make changes, send it back to the dealer business system when you're done. You can also create a variety of different types of orders, which we'll cover later on in this presentation. Now, in order to access customer information on the standalone Parts Expert, you click on this little head icon, and that opens our customer dialogues. First we're going to touch on is how do you get customers downloaded into the standalone Parts Expert to start with. Click on this Import tab, and that opens up the processes we have available for identifying and pulling customers down into the standalone. We have two different processes available. One works off the customer name. You can go on and say, okay, give me everybody's name starts with A, or give me Richardson. Or you can go in by zip code. So you can put in multiple zip codes, and in either of those searches, that'll populate this panel with the customers who met that search criteria that you entered. And then you can select the first guy and skip the second, and select the third and the fourth, and skip the fifth, and you can go on down through there picking out the guys you want to drop in. Alternatively, you can say bring them all in, select all, it'll color all of them, and then when you hit add, you'll pull those customers down into your standalone Parts Expert. And depending on how your in-field marketing effort is structured, you may want to do either one of those things. If you have account managers who go out and call on specific customers, 100, 150, you probably want to start out this download process with names. If it's more of a CNCE aimed effort, bigger audience, less frequent visits, then you might want to go ahead and grab a zip code or two and say, pull all these customers down into my standalone Parts Expert. Now when you do that, that'll download the customers, some of their basic information, whether you get a discount off of your selling price, and all their machine profiles down into the standalone Parts Expert. Now this is the process which basically you do once. Completely separate process in Parts Expert for keeping that information synchronized with the business system, and I'll point that out to you at a later point. Now for this class, we're assuming we've already done that step. We've already got these customers downloaded. But if you want to see this process run, if you want to see how that works, you can stop at the Expo booth, Parts Technology F21, and we can show you how the download works with the business system. Now in order to bring a customer, we click ahead, it opens this panel, and just like any transaction on a business system, we start off by typing in the customer's name. We identify the customer we want, we hit enter, throws them down into the standalone Parts Expert. Here's his basic information, there's his business system number, notes off that customer. And Parts Expert Standalone also has the ability to have open tickets in it. Just like on your business system, you can open a parts ticket, work with it a little bit, put it away, bring it up later, do some more things. So we're going to grab that off as we're on our way past. Now the Standalone Parts Expert automatically opens up a customer and his machine profile. And the reason we do that is because we want you to look at this profile as an opportunity and a great tool for building a customer visit around. Now this tool has actually two major components in it. On the left side, you have your business system profile for that customer. You have the machines that he owns, the make, machine, model, serial number. You'll notice it's an editable hour meter reading field. Based on dates that are pulled down off your business system, you can set warranty indicators that will change from green to orange to red based on parameters that you set up in Standalone Parts Expert. But a red warranty indicator is definitely an indication that it's time to go pay a visit to that customer. You can also pull down machine comments, and if you have their fleet numbers on your business system, you can pull those down as well. We'll get into a little more of that in a second. The other major component is all the information that John Deere Parts Marketing has tagged as being specific to certain machine model numbers. You have cross-search information and maintenance parts lists. You have JDM and parts accessory items. You have various different types of inspection checklists. You also have a couple of different searches over here that we'll get into later on in this presentation. When you combine these two, what you end up with is the information on the customer's machines and the parts marketing information that directly relates to the machines that customer owns. So the result is a marketing planning tool specifically designed for that customer. Now let's take a little closer look at this machine record. Click on the machine model and it opens that record up. Here's your basic information that we pulled off the business system. We also have a comment field here, which if we had sold Richard Carson that tractor, the codes from that tractor would be displaying right here. An infield marketer has that available when they're a bit away from the dealership. These are all editable fields. If you get out there and the serial number is incorrect, you can correct the serial number. You can add the information that's missing, you can update the hour meter readings. And all that information, all those changes, go up to the dealership business system when you synchronize. Now these 4 fields in the middle require a little bit of explanation. By machine model, an infield marketer can identify the 4 things that he's most interested in tracking on a machine. So in this case, Casey's tracking on all 4210s, whether it's got mechanical front wheel drive, what kind of transmission does it have, and here's 2 that I really like. He's also tracking, have they signed up for JDP Plus and when does it expire, and when am I planning to do the next oil scan. Personally, I like using these fields to identify critical decision points for a customer, whether it's a wear measurement or a date and time, when something else needs to happen. These 4 fields are specific to this machine model number. So when you're working with different types of machinery, you can have completely different things that you're tracking. You can have one set of stuff that you're going to track for combines, a different set for tillage, a different set for planters, a different set for cotton pickers. It's up to you. Okay, now I want a show of hands on this next piece. Has anybody noticed at least once in the last year when the information on a customer's profile in the dealer business system has not agreed with what the customer actually had? How about once in the last week? Yeah. That's a tough problem, isn't it? I mean, customers buy stuff, they sell stuff, they never tell you about it. Keeping that in agreement with what they actually own is really, really hard. So the standalone parts expert attempts to help with that problem. When we're calling on Richard, if he doesn't own that machine anymore, if he sold it at auction, it's gone, it's out of state, we can delete that machine off of this profile on parts expert, and when we synchronize that information back to the business system, that'll take it off the business system as well. A lot of times customers will sell a machine to a guy who's in the local area. Isn't that right? So when that happens, if Casey gets out there and calls on Richard, he no longer owns this tractor, but he sold it to a guy down the road, Casey has him in his standalone parts expert. You can actually transfer that machine from one customer to the other, and that information will also go up and update the business system when he synchronizes back to the business system. While he's out there, he can add notes that will help determine the parts that tractor requires for that customer's at the parts counter. So if we don't have the codes, we can go ahead and load that information here. Maybe it's also got something of an aftermarket nature that Casey thinks is important, so we can make those kind of notes too, and all that goes back to the business system. Now before I forget, I've mentioned a couple times the synchronization process, so I'm just going to take this opportunity to point that out. See this little circular arrow icon up here? I call it the dogs chasing their tails icon. That's the synchronization process. You go out and you call on a bunch of customers, you update their profiles, you update hour meter readings, you correct serial numbers, you delete machines that aren't there and add ones. Maybe you create some parts orders while you're out calling on that customer. When you go back to the dealership, you hook your laptop to the business system and you click that button. Now at the same time we were out calling on customers, maybe a customer who's in your laptop took ownership on a machine. So when you click that button, here's what happens. The changes you captured during visits go up to the dealer business system. The orders that you've said are done or tagged and ready to go to the business system will upload. That machine that customer purchased will come down into the standalone parts expert. And any parts that have changed on hand or prices that have changed will come down and populate into the standalone parts expert. So it's truly a one-button synchronization. And it's based on net changes, so the more frequently you do it, the faster it runs. You dock the machine, you hit that button, you get a cup of coffee, you go report to the boss for a few minutes, you come back out, grab your PC, you go into the country. Now the whole idea of having the profile open is to identify opportunities to work with that customer. And the first opportunity that kind of leaps out is he's got a case 7210. So let's take a look at the cross search under there by clicking on the app search. Maybe I've never had a conversation with this customer about parts country. So let's take a look and see how much information we have to talk to. I automatically opened up the 7210. When I click Find Parts, it'll go and bring back all the part groups that we have for 7210. And as of when we created this PowerPoint, we had 118 cross-references of parts that we can screw into the side of a Case International 7210 tractor. Now, if we want to have this dialogue with Richard, then what we got to do is we got to create a print-friendly report, throw that in that file for Richard Carson, and review that as part of our agenda of things to discuss with them. We have a decision to make here first. I've got my parts Ecker standalone set so that it prices on demand. If I want to price this list, I can click the header, and that'll apply dealer pricing to all the parts on this list. If I've got a price advantage on that Case IH dealer, that'd be a good thing to do. Really, it's a great way to tell your story. Maybe Richard's one of those dwindling number of farmers that likes to take the paper you gave him and he goes down the road and shows it to the next guy and says, look what I've got. If that's the case, maybe you don't want to do this, but it's up to you. We're going to click on the print friendly report, and this is what that does. This takes all the information off that report, leaves a serial number on there, puts your customer information at the top, you can add your logo to it, and actually puts your dealership contact information on it. It's a nice clean report. It's a great thing for you to review with Richard and have that dialogue about parts country and how you can keep all of his tractors running, whether or not they happen to be painted green on the outside. I guarantee he doesn't have this level of awareness on what we can do for him. Now to get back to the machine profile again, we have an equipment icon up here that we just click the equipment button. From anywhere, it takes you right back into the customer's profile in a single click. Now we looked at this 4210 earlier. Let's take a look at that because it's got a red warranty indicator. So let's take a look at JDMP Plus. We're going to click the JDMP Plus link, and that opens up the inspection list for that tractor. We've got the intervals on the inspections. We've got the parts list. We've got all the steps of a JDMP Plus inspection. So this is the perfect time to have that dialogue with that customer about that tractor, and this is the perfect tool to have that dialogue with. So this is something else that you can print out, throw in that agenda, and go out there and say, you know, 90 days from now your tractor's going out of warranty. Let's talk about extending the warranty and doing some inspections to improve the maintenance on that machine. Now, as long as we're talking about maintenance, let's also take a look at what we've got under the application search and the JDM search. A filter pack would be a good thing to talk to this customer about. So underneath the JDM search, we have a filter pack story. And underneath the application search, we actually have filter pack part numbers by model. So you can click on the filter pack, throws it into the pick ticket, and you'll see what that looks like in just a second. This is a parts marketing document. It's nicely designed, it's attractive, it's got a nice picture, it's got features and benefits. If you're going to go talk to this customer about a filter pack, this is a nice thing to print out and throw in that agenda as something else that you want to bring to that customer's attention. Now, when a customer wants you to come out and visit them, have you ever noticed that normally they want you to come out and look at like just one thing? And the advantage that looking at the profile brings to you is that it gives you an opportunity to take a step back. I'm not going to take too many steps back. But it allows you to look at the whole profile and see if there's other things you should take care of while you're out there. Maybe there's a machine this customer just finished using, hasn't put it away yet. There's probably something broken on it. This is the time to catch that, not at the beginning of the next season. Maybe he's got another machine that he's going to be pulling out and start using in a couple of weeks. This is the perfect time to look at that machine and see if there's some performance enhancements that you can put on that machine that might improve its field operation in the coming season. So let's take a quick look at the 7610. What we're going to do is we're going to take a look at these two search engines over here. Now you notice they both have a red asterisk on them. It's a PIP search and a tips and troubleshooting search. The red asterisk indicates that you must be networked to get to that information. Those are provided there as a planning tool for you. What you can do is when you click on the PIP search, it will automatically pass the serial number from that machine in the profile up to a PIP search engine and tell you if there's a PIP out on it. And you can access the PIP and read about it if there is. In this case, we don't have one. Let's go take a look at the tips and troubleshooting link now. Click on that, it automatically passes the model and the machine type to the tips and troubleshooting web search and does a keyword search. What you end up with are a list of stories stored in DTAC but formatted for printing and easy understanding, and approved for customers to look at. So these are stories that you can use to justify going out and calling on that customer about things that may improve the performance of his machines.